Okay. I think we got it up. I think the audience view, yep, that's got the right one there. It is 10 o'clock. Good morning and happy Thursday. I want to welcome each and every one of you to the next session in the FDOT CAD Office webinar series. Today is November 21st. We are exactly 1 week away from my favorite holiday, Thanksgiving. And to top it all off, it was in the 40s this morning. So I'm calling it. Fall has officially arrived here in North Florida. I got my flannel on this morning. This morning's webinar is going to be FDOT Connect 2023 Traffic Tools Update. Your presenter for this morning is the preeminent CAD support specialist with the FDOT CAD office, Mr. Marcus Duval. And as we have announced with our recent webinars, this presentation was developed for the 2024 flood, which unfortunately did not happen, didn't occur to hurricanes Helene and Milton. So this session is pre-recorded, and there will be a QA session at the end in order to meet the required time in session to qualify for continuing education credit. All attendees will be in listen-only mode for this webinar. Please submit any questions you have to the question dialog box. We will attempt to answer questions as we go, and again, have a QA session at the end of the presentation. It is our intention to record this presentation and post it to the CAD office website. That resource is the same website in which you accessed the registration link for this webinar. Quick tip for anyone that encounters audio problems: if you lose your audio at any time during the presentation transitions, please know the quickest and easiest way is to disconnect and reconnect to the webinar. So GoTo will record the entire time you are on, but we have no control over your audio. I feel for you. I just can't reach you. For this training, continuing education will be issued to the PEs who attend the live session and who attend the session in its entirety. Certificates will be delivered to the email address in which you registered and logged into the webinar. And with that, I'm going to turn it right on over to Marcus. Bear with me.
Hello, I'm Marcus Duval with the Florida Department of Transportation's CAT office. Welcome to the ORD 2023 Traffic Tools Update here at Flood. We hope everyone was safe during the hurricane and that you and your loved ones are well. So allow me to apologize for some of the inconsistencies with the graphics that you will see. I look forward to seeing all of you in person, but due to technical and logistical difficulties, this presentation has been pre-recorded. What we will discuss. The following topics have been covered in ORD's Open Roads Design in 2023. We've done a tremendous amount of work so our designers and partners in the district have a seamless transition as we are abandoning support for 10.12. Sign tools. We have new MUTCD cell blocks, new version of guide sign, new guide sign cells. The new MUTCD, we've worked on adding all the new signs and panels into the application. It's possible that some panels have been renamed, but all of the older MUTCD cells have been added. We started adding those in December, and you will continue to have access to the old and new MUTCD cells. We've done a major overhaul to signs, pay items, and pay item numbers. Um, New pay item numbers for signage are built in, functioning, and reporting. Um, so really quickly, Guide Sign is a program available through Transoft Solutions. It is recommended that any user seeking training or support with Guide Sign do so through your organization. We offer limited support here for guide sign at the CAD office. Um, if you have any issues with guide sign, um, you will have to speak to Lance Langford here at the CAD office for licensing. And we still on occasion have issues with guide sign scaling. That is just something that we're going to have to deal with. So while I'm talking, I'm opening up Open Roads Designer 2023. We're going to go ahead and uh, forward through this part. Okay, we're gonna create a blank file and I'm just going, I'm pretty sure many of you know this, but I mean, I'm just gonna go through it for those who've never seen um, this panel before. And I'm sorry, let me um, expand here. Give it a second. I'm sorry, I'm recording, so it's moving kind of slow. Expand. Okay. So, so I'm not actually going to create a new file because I've already done this, but I'll show you a brief overview on what we're going to do. So we're going to choose the DSGN SPO1. That is the proposed design. Here are the other files that you can create. So at the bottom, you're going to see your output folder, the base file name. And so I already have a sequence of one. So this is the third time. Essentially, it's saying that I've done this. But we're going to look at the seed file, make sure it's correct. The county is in fact Wakulla. And normally here I would hit create file. But like I said, I've already done this. So I'm going to close this out and then I'm going to reopen ORD again. So hopefully this transition is relatively seamless. But here we go. All right. So this is the one I've already created. And so what I'm going to do here is just go through a brief overview and some functionality with the panel and I'm sorry. That was the wrong work set. So let me open up the work set that I'm currently using. Sorry. And forgive me, it's hard to think about demonstrating, recording, and making sure that everything works all at the same time. So I'm sorry if I seem a little skittish. Okay, so you should have everything in this file. You should have your baseline. You should have um, um, when you originally open up the work set, some files look different. But you should have your baseline, your stationing. Um, now, sometimes you'll see construction lines, but essentially your file should look something similar to this with, one or two levels on or off. Here is our F dot ribbon, F dot signs, pavement marking, traffic design, signal design, and our light pole manager, which we're gonna all talk about the updates or the things that we fix in ORD 2023 as we continue. So I'm just inspecting the file, and then I'm going to go to our cell libraries because I want to show you where we have our cells and I know I mentioned earlier about the new MUTCD, but here are our cell web pages. They're going to have our repository of cells, and you can get here through the ribbon, or if you know the the browser address. You can also search this through the browser, but this is just a shortcut that gets you there. So I'm going to exit out here, but I'm going to show you the MUTCD cell files. So we're going to just scroll here. MUTCD. I'm going to click, and here are all of the different types of cells that you can go with. We have everything from landscape to utilities. We're going to go to traffic control, ITS cells, lighting, and then when you click, you're going to see previews of all of these. So we've done a tremendous amount of work in overhauling these. And so these are going to come in at the right scale per your file. And the orientation is going to come in based on which particular panel you use and how you set it. But I'm just scrolling here and going through all of the options that you have, and there are thousands of these. So um, you know what you're going to use for your particular discipline, but um, we don't necessarily have to. I don't necessarily have to change or choose any of these because most of these are already going to be preset for me when I use the panel. All right. And see, we have everything. We have typicals, we have sections, all types of cells. So let's go ahead and exit out of here. All right. We're going to go to, well, sorry, my mouse is sticking a little bit. So, but we're going to go to F dot signs as soon as I can get it to show up again. Okay, here we go. And I apologize. I'm so used to doing this in person that I'm kind of all over the place, but please forgive me, and I hope you guys are following along well. All right, and again, mouse is sticking. It's like disappearing on me for some reason. I don't know why. Let's get it to show back up. Maybe it's my Bluetooth settings or something. I don't know. All right, here we go. We're gonna assembly create. So here are all of the tabs within the panel. Assembly creation. You have labeling on the right side, tools and settings, user settings. But as I scroll across here, it'll show you uh, the different functionality within the panel. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go and we're gonna just start. Oh well, here. Generally, there will be a drop down list of signs that you've already created. It holds those, and you can rename them as you open them or saved copies. But generally, there would be a list of the signs that you've used already in the panel. All right. So here we're just gonna go create a new assembly and see how it says sign 001. We're not gonna worry about anything right now. We're not gonna resign. We're not gonna rename these or touch the justification. Um, yeah, and generally you're gonna do a panel and post, but you can do panel only, panel and post combined, post only. Um, I'm not quite sure what panel and post combined means. That's relatively new, but I just generally use panel and post. And just to be fair, I am not the developer on this. I'm just the subject matter expert, but the developer is Randy Roberts. So if you have any of those specific questions, you can ask him about those. But here we're gonna just show. So when you design a sign, we're only gonna do one panel today, but if you are going to do a three panel, I would generally start in the middle and then work my way to the outside, uh, either left or right, because the panel generally wants to orient itself to the first panel. So I would generally, like I said, use the middle panel, then work my way um, from the outside. We're gonna go conventional, and you could choose any other type of application, but we're just gonna go conventional. Panel class, regulatory, but see, you have a list of other panel classes that you can use, but just for the sake of this demonstration, we're just going to use regulatory. And panel name, and we're just going to choose something simple. We're going to start with the first one. Most likely is a stop sign, but as you can see, here are all of your panel names, and we've removed all of the zeros and unnecessary um, nomenclature. So here we're going to just choose the 30 by 30. If it, like I said, if my mouse stops acting up on me. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and click. Yep, it says we're going to 3030. All right. State, we're going to go proposed. Come on. All right. We're not going to worry about the rotation right now. And so if we were going to add more than, the process is relatively simple. I would always hit add first panel before confirm assembly. Sometimes it has worked for me where I could go and I'm sorry, I'll show you real quick. You could use add first panel, and then you can go and then you could add the other two based on what we talked about earlier and how you wanted to orient from the middle. So I'm gonna hit confirm assembly because we're only doing one panel. Come on. Sorry, system's moving kind of slow, but and as you can see, everything's already populated for you. It's a single post, propose, furnish, and install, one-sided, and then you'll see that the pay item number has already been attached and the description. So we're just going to hit confirm post. Well, you can also decide if you needed to, you can change these pay item numbers. For the most part, we've done all the work for you, so you shouldn't have to change this. Or you could go and look through the list of um, pay items to make sure that this is exactly what it is you want and is going to be accurate, or maybe there's some small nuance change that you need to make. But if you go ahead and use the pay item database and you do a search, you can do this through the numbers. I've done this through the keyword, and it gets you pretty much where you need to go. But I mean, I'm just gonna drill down here and just keep going and show you how we'll get to your pay item numbers. All right, we're just gonna cancel. All right, pay items there, description, and we're just gonna hit confirm post. All right, so you'll see that there's some things um, that are already populated because I've already done this, but you can select your rotation type. You can um, select your offset. Now, if you click on the offset, it'll sort of pin itself to the baseline, but we're not going to worry about that today. But here we scroll in, I can go in and I can choose the center line, and that's center line SR61. And then I'm just going to go ahead and place panel. Come on. All right. And I'm just going to click here. It sort of sticks on me. So when you click it once, or otherwise it takes a time to little time to place. So we're just gonna let it do that. Okay, now once it finally comes in and is where that I wanted to put it, there we go. Now I'm gonna go and place post in a second, but you can see that after I clicked it, here all of your properties. All right, and you see it has it as you move the tooltip, the stations gives you a precise station. So go ahead and click when I want it to be exactly what I want, 702, and then here you go. All right, we're gonna hit finish assembly. And just a quick reminder that what is new from that panel was the offset. We just put the offsets in. That wasn't in the earlier version. All right. Text label. We're gonna go with f dot small. Well, yeah, f dot small. All right. The display name, display pattern. Uh, yeah, that's good. The spacing is good. Left justification. Now, uh, I'm thinking if I remember this correctly, I may want to space out the labels a little bit. Yeah, because it's on top of each other. So I'm gonna go ahead bring that up, get rid of this. But it's sort of sticking, so give it a second. But I'm probably gonna change that because it's just gonna bother me. So we're gonna go spacing 4, and here we're gonna go 4, and then place label. We're gonna click here. All right, that's a little bit better. I like that a little bit better. So yeah, we're gonna place that. Then we're gonna place label from the post. Okay. All right. Now maybe let me 2 is a little bit better. Let's try. Let's try 2. And I once again I apologize. I have to remember to talk while I'm doing this, because I generally don't have to. But I'm probably way too particular about this, so um, yeah, I'm just gonna let this go. We're gonna go. I'm sorry. I don't know what just happened there. There we go. All right. And as you can see, here we are. We put panel post and we've labeled the panel and post. So now let's go and talk about place cell group or the traffic design tab. We fix issues when selecting items. Now, when you choose a cell and you can exit or come back, it keeps them. And it also allows you to use custom cells now. So I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so nothing's really changed. You can still place up to 3 graphics at a time here, upstream, center, downstream. But for today, we're not gonna go that deep, but you can see how you can still place 3 graphics. So let me click here and I can show you how to get to the custom cells. Yep, okay, here we go. And so here are all of the different types of cells that you can use. I just chose lighting. So like I said, I'm just gonna click through these and you can see the previews. Now, if you are having an issue and you're not seeing these previews, the only thing I can tell you is to uninstall and reinstall. I Because historically these these always show up. But if they don't show up, then you have a bigger issue, and the only quick solution is to uninstall and reinstall. So we're just going to use Lum Alum here. I just liked how it looked. I don't ask me why. And see, as you hover over, it tells you how to follow the process, input your pattern description, the units of measure. It has all of your units of measure for lighting and some conduit. But conduit is a little conduit is a little confusing because you can use several of these tabs to add conduit or um, extend the length of certain things, but we're just going to keep it simple today and just show you what's new here. Um, so we're going to go ahead and close. All right. Okay. So signal design has well it mostly has to do with conduit, but you can add other signals. We've we place conduit permanently here because the um, the the advantage to placing it here is that you can now add extra length and multiple pay items to conduit, and it doesn't crash as much here in this panel. So let me go ahead and just kind of show you what this looks like. And forgive me, I've already done several other exercises here, so this is going to be a slightly updated file. But if you go and you click conduit, or you can choose whatever you want, but we're just going to talk about conduit um, because that's what one of the things that we've updated here. And you can choose your alignment, the description. We're going to go furnish open trench. Now, I'm not sure if that's correct, but it is the first one, so I chose it. And so if you click additional pay items and you hover over and you right click, it'll allow you to add or remove pay items. And then you can go over here and choose what pay items that you need to add. And it is essentially the same thing. Pay items you need to add. And this is the pay items and how much length you need to add. All right. We're just gonna show that, and I'm not gonna add any extra length here because I don't know um, how that works specifically, but I'm gonna show you that with this panel that you could add more. And that's essentially what's new uh, with the pl sorry, with the signal design. I'm sorry, my brain's all over the place today. I'm looking at four screens at once. All right. Signal design and light pole manager work together to a degree, and I'm going to show you later on exactly what that is. But if we go here and we just choose we're just going to choose some specific lighting. So we're going to go with the light pole. I'm just going to type in light pole and see what happens. And then I'm just going to drill down and find something. All right. We're just going to choose, yeah, let's just choose this one. And we're going to hit OK. And it gives me a preview. Okay. So we're going to look at, yeah, the alignment's already there. Now you could always choose that. We're going to go an increment of, let's say, 200 feet. Absolute angle, we're going to go perpendicular. What else do I need to do? No, yes, we're going to do an offset of like 65 because that should be outside the roadway. And then we're going to draw the pattern. We're going to click on the baseline and we're going to drag down because we're going to go to the bottom. All right, we're going to place these light poles here. And we're just doing this now so that I can show you later with Light Pole Manager sort of how this works. So I'm sort of jumping ahead of myself here, but let me just go ahead and just show you a little bit of the Light Pole Manager so I can renumber the poles. And they're taking these poles because I've placed that particular file. I mean, I placed that particular cell and its properties in this file. So that's how it's reading what I've done. And I'm just going to add just some things here. So let's just go through and just going to click uh, these at random. All of the ones that have drop downs, I'm just going to choose. And forgive me, this is probably not right, but I'm just going through to show you how easily you can make this table. Uh, excuse me, luminaire type. I don't know. Yeah, still, yeah. I don't know. That's just okay. Yeah, yeah. And we're just gonna hit OK and see how it adds them all. And I can look and I can go back through and I can add these. I can add more of these. I can also do load center data table, but I'm not. So let's just go ahead and process and save. And then I'm gonna go ahead and create a light pole report. And then I'll talk about um, sort of what's new. Well, I'll reiterate what's new before I go to the next section, which is going to be quantities. So we're going to export this report and see. Here's your report. Here's your and you can go back and do this as many times you want and update. But just to sort of iterate, like I said, we use the signal design and light pole manager. Um, Now, mind you, I did put my poles in using traffic design, but like I said, signal design, I like to think is more for the electrical, the wiring part of it. We've added all the light poles you need, and they all now work. So let's go to traffic plan quantities update. So unlike roadway quantities, traffic plans quantities must be separated. Conduit and other items may overlap between different disciplines, even if other disciplines' references are not displayed, quantities will still report. The recommended workflow for each discipline, signing and pavement marking, lighting, etc., is to create a separate model in your design file for the quantities. Reference only the discipline default model and alignment, and then generate quantities from the simplified quantity model. Area shapes cannot currently be created with traffic tools. So island nose paint, for example, you'd have to set the level to appropriate pavement marking level, draw the lines or shape to enclose the area to be painted, use the region tool, uh, drawing, go to groups, and then region to make an enclosed shape, and then attach a blank PMTIT item type to the shape, and then fill in the properties manually. B splines and grouped holes do not quantify. If a shape has a hole, you must break the shape around it to create two areas. If you have a B spline as a reference line, um, edge of pavement, etc., make a copy and use the facet tool to make a complex line. And you get the facet tool by going to the drawing workflow, curves, curve utilities, or facet. Now you could also just type this in the top search um, in ORD and it'll show you how to drill down the same way this is doing. All right, so 0700 pay items have recently changed. So let's look at this, the 700 1 ABB, which is a single column post, ground sign assembly. With the fiscal year 23-24 standard specifications for section 700, usage of terms post and column were updated to be consistently shown as column. For the purposes of this pay item structure, the terms are considered interchangeable. The unit of measure for assembly will be phased out and placed by each. For the purposes of this pay item structure, the terms are considered interchangeable. So, updating existing design files in 2023, you're going to use the Explorer items advanced search to locate an old pay item numbers and create a selection set for each. You're going to use the properties dialog to update item type properties of a like pay item to new pay item number, description, and unit. And then you're going to run quantity takeoff manager per usual. Updating pay items for 1012 projects without updating to 1012 or beyond. You're going to update pay item types as shown for 1012. Have FDOTConnect2012 installed side by side with 10.11. Create an empty container file in 10.12. Reference in your 10.11 files that have the new pay item number. Use the 10.12 quantity takeoff manager to generate your quantity spreadsheet. They are platform dependent. Um, Continue processing your plans in 10.11. This this slide is important because you won't be able to go from 10.11 to 2023. You'd have to start all of your projects now in 2023, and you can't do this same process as meaning two standalone versions. So if you have a 10.11 project or you have 10.12 projects, if you if you move this process over one level, it's essentially the same process, but we're not going to support either one of these after the now I'm sorry, now that we have 2023, we're not going to support these in the coming months. So we're just trying to give you a workaround so that way you don't have to completely start over a project. But if you are starting a project in 10.11 or 10.12, it is recommended that you now go to ORD 2023. Error in computation method for 0713103 pay items. The fix is posted on the Bitly's community. This was posted a couple months ago by Chris Thorpe. And what you're going to do is you're going to download the updated AEC merge file, which is going to have a charting and listing of all the necessary pay items per project. And you're going to grab that AEC merge file, and then you're going to go to your C F dot 2023 organization civil F dot asset manager, and then you're going to overwrite that file by placing the AEC merge in there. Green colored pavement markings. This has been effective since July 24th. These do not. Hmm. Okay, yeah. Okay, yes. So, use the note details for this one are used for green colored bike lane pavement markings previously under development, um, under the developmental item 920-714-100. Per the FDM 223, the use of green colored pavement markings requires the approval of the district design engineer through project suites design approval through project suites design approval request process. Sorry, hard for me to read this today. The approval must be obtained during phase one of design. All right, so custom pay items. This is what you're gonna do. You're gonna create how you create an item type. You're gonna copy this library here and rename it. You're gonna copy this template. You're gonna give a new item type a unique name. that you just copied and replaced. You're gonna give it a new name here. All right. Then you're gonna select the things that you're gonna want to put in these properties. You're gonna select the property. You're gonna delete all unneeded properties. So I don't need lump sum. I don't need lift. I don't need width. So I'm going to then save when finished, and then you're gonna add a new property definition, and this is for traffic plans only. And you're gonna have to add an alignment property to this, right? And here you're gonna see all of these. They're gonna keep the default setting, all right? And then you're gonna set the level and create a closed shape. So you're gonna see the level that I chose is PM bike lane EP. And then once you choose that level, you're going to go ahead and place the line or place this shape here. Okay. You're going to attach the item to a shape, green pavement marking. Sorry, and do not add these in 10.12. It will crash. So so don't add any extra properties here. Just go based on what you've already created when you created this item type. Right. Okay. And here is add a pay item to report definition. And this is the summary of the payment marking. And there are other summaries here. We got summary of lighting and everything, but we're just talking about payment markings here. You're gonna select the report. You're gonna add the pay item number and then hit save. Add pay item to computation formula definition resource with pay item editor. So you're gonna use your correct uh, BOE format here. So you gotta make sure that you um, use the correct spacing. So it's 0714 space and then 10, and you can leave that blank because there's nothing else on the end. And then here you gotta make sure that your description matches the basis of estimates exactly. I mean, the easiest thing to do is just copy and paste it because you want to make sure it is exact. You're gonna choose your comp method, and you can find that here from the drop down. Um, and so after you click add, after you click your computation method here, it drops it down here to this chart so that way you can see it. And then once you have it and it appears here, you're going to hit save. And once again, these slides will be available. So you don't have to try to write all this down now and you'll be able to follow it. Okay. So I'm sorry, like I said, my apologies that this had to be pre-recorded. But I will say thank all of you for coming to today's session. And if you need help, my number here is 850-414-4863. My email is marcus.duval@dot.state.fl.us. The site, if you need to put in a CAD ticket or you want more information, is fdot.gov CAD. And we also have a CAD support forum online, and it's here at the address below. Bentley Community, I'm sorry, communities.bentley.com, communities forward slash, I'm sorry, backslash user communities backslash f dot CAD support.
All right. Thank you very much, Marcus. Checking to see if you are indeed on the line still. And that was a great presentation. Thank you for all of your efforts there. We got some thank yous coming in here. Marcus, I see that you have been answering questions kind of as we've been going. If anyone has any questions, any other questions that you would like to ask or comments, please put those in the dialog box right now. We still have 5 minutes to go in order to be legitimate. Marcus, I see your microphone is green, but I can't hear you.
No, I hadn't said anything.
There
I'm
you
here.
go. Okay, well that makes sense. I don't know. Do you want to go over some of these questions that came in for the folks that
Yeah,
didn't see them?
I did wanna ask about one. There was a question that said, is there a way to place the associated sign text into a separate text file, or does it have to be in the design file? So to be clear, nothing has to be anywhere. You've done it the way you've done it in your companies for however long. So, but we're recommending that everything be done in the design file. One, just because it's cleaner, but then two is because of the panel. The panel has to associate with the alignment. Now, yes, the alignment's probably going to be in other files, but the the coding and the way it works is designed to pull from this file specifically. So I don't know if it would work and if it would work well. So right now we're just cautioning that any of the panels be used in the the specific file. So if you're doing it in the design file, we ask that you keep it there. But no, there's no because you can actually use place label in other files. So no, there's nothing that's saying you absolutely have to, but we're just recommending that you do because it's just cleaner that way. Uh, can a request be made? Oh, and yes, all of the requests that are being made, I'm gonna pass this over to Randy, and he's gonna talk. I'll talk to him about it and see um what he can do. Some of this stuff is just slow, so I don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze to go back and redo any of it, but I will make sure I bring it up to him. Can I start assigning and marking in ORD if the roadway file was done in SS10? No, that's a no. Anything beyond 10.12 at this point is, I hate to say, pretty much a wash for 2023. So I'm sorry about that. Well, I mean, I guess if you're gonna reference it, I guess if you're gonna reference it in, maybe, but I don't know how that's gonna work with your takeoffs. So I would I would caution against it. But just on the surface of your question, can I start assigning and marking in ORD if the roll file was done in SS10? I wouldn't do it. QC check rule file. One second. QC check rule file forces the sign panels cell images to exist in DSP, and so if text rule file could allow the level of existing sign panel, that can happen. Yeah, yeah. I mean, uh, yes, that could work. Seems like I guess that would be an extra step from my perspective, but yeah, that'll work. Street name signs are typically done in guide sign. Is there a way to add onto stop sign assembly by using the sign tool? No, you can't. It would be cool to be able to mix and. I'm sorry. Let me read it over. Street name signs are typically done in guide sign. Is there a way to add it onto a stop sign assembly using the sign tool? Yes and no. It would take a lot of work. And essentially you'd have to you'd have to break those up. So the short answer I'm gonna go with is no. But I can see how you could do it because I'm a designer as well. So, but I'm gonna say no for the purposes of always the quantities. And the quantities picking up from the design file. I would say no. I think I answered the rest of these.
I believe you did. Yes, sir. Well
Hmm.
done. Thank you very much again for your efforts. Thank you for putting all of this on. I just want to thank everybody else for coming on in today as well. I wanted to remind everybody have a happy and safe Thanksgiving. Let's get to our safety message right there. So if you are traveling this Thanksgiving, please don't text and drive. Be careful out there. We will not have a webinar because I mean, next Thursday, I'm going to be in the kitchen. So, but we will have our next one on December 5th, and that's going to be Civil 3D 2025 Geotech Tools. So be sure that you log in for that. Other than that, Mr. Marcus, I'm going to turn it right back on over to you, say your closing remarks, and then I hope everybody has a happy holiday, and we'll see you in December.
Yeah, and everybody feel free to contact me if you need to. I appreciate you all, and once again, I apologize. I had every intentions of doing that presentation live, but I didn't want to be the oddball here and do it live when everyone had pre-recorded theirs. So thank you all. Great questions, and if you have anything else, we can be contacted through the CAT office, or you can email me directly, or 850-414-4863. You guys have a great holiday and be safe.